Every Thursday, we open the files, not on the killers, not on the victims, but on the ones who told it all. The scared, the slick, the straight up sloppy. From cold cases to courtroom confessions, if they snitch, we're spilling it. This is the Snitch Files, a weekly dive into true crime's biggest talkers, one name, one story every Thursday. And if you know a snitch that deserves a moment, send them in. Any case, anytime. If they flipped, we're listening. Because loose lips make great content. Welcome to the Snitch Files, only on Melanin Mysteries.
So welcome back to the Snitch Files, where the street code goes to die and the truth comes crawling out. I'm Willie, and today we are revisiting a case so brutal it still gives people in Oklahoma nightmares. Now, this one is about Carletha Mack, the woman who stood by while Courtney Palmer was kidnapped, tortured, and murdered, and then found her voice the minute she saw police detectives with a pen and a paper. Now, if you want the full breakdown, I'm talking about every horrific stomach turning detail. Just go back and listen to episode 20 of Melanin Mysteries. That's where we walk you through the whole crime from start to finish. But today we just gonna focus on the moment that Carletha went from silent witness to certified snitch. So Courtney Palmer wasn't a kingpin. He wasn't running a crew. He was just a young man in Oklahoma City who happened to see something he wasn't supposed to see. A shooting. Word got around and he was talking to police and in street politics. That's like painting a target on your back in neon. So Gerald Lowe Jr. and his people decided Courtney was a liability. And in their world, liabilities, they get handled. Not with threats, but with violence, right? What followed was hours of torture. And I mean hours, y'all. Got to go back and listen to episode 20. I'm telling you. Things I can't even repeat here without risking your lunch just being thrown up. I'm talking about the whole time Carletha Mack was there. She wasn't tied up. No. She wasn't being held against her will. She was in that room, fully aware of what was happening. And she did nothing to stop it. That was betrayal number one. Because sometimes the word betrayal isn't pulling the trigger. It's watching someone suffer and deciding their life isn't worth saving, right? But the streets, the streets have a funny way of flipping the script. The law came for her, right? And what they do? The so-called loyalty didn't last long. She's sitting in a small windowless room. A detective walks in, drops a thick manila folder on the table. He leans in and says, "Look, we already know what happened. The only question is, do you want to go down with them or do you want to save yourself?" At first, she shakes her head. "I ain't got nothing to say." The detective smirk, opens up the folder, and starts laying out photos, baby. The crime scene, Courtney injuries, evidence bags. Funny. Everybody else is already talking. You're the only one holding out. And when the DA hears that, guess who gets the heaviest charge? So, of course, it was a long pause. Then she leaned forward, elbows on the table. She like, "Hold on. Okay, but you didn't hear from me." And just like that, the damn breaks. She named Gerald Lowe Jr. as one giving the orders. She describes how Courtney was beaten up, tied up, and eventually killed. She details the location, the house, the room, even the tools that was used. She explains how they moved the body, how they tried to clean up afterwards, and who helped. This isn't vague. He said, she said. This is point by point, timestamp level detail that only someone in the room could possibly know. And the cops, man, they eat it up. Every word is another nail in the defendant's coffin. That's why her cooperation here is different. She didn't just point a finger. She handed these Negroes the blueprint. And she did it after standing there while it happened. So let's call it what it is, a double betrayal. First, to Courtney Palmer, rest in peace, by not helping him when he needed it the most. Then to the killers, by serving them up to the stake on a silver platter once she felt the walls were closing in. See, her talking didn't erase her own guilt. She still caught accessory charges because she didn't try to stop or call the police in a moment. Gerald Lowe Jr. got life with parole plus extra time. Others were convicted or pled out, but her, Nah, her name will always be tied to one of Oklahoma's most horrific murders, and to the fact that when the heat was on, she couldn't even hold the line. So this has been another drop from the Snitch Files. Of course, I'm Willie. And if you want the full picture, I'm talking about every detail of what Courtney Palmer endured and how that case unraveled, go back and listen to episode 20 of Melanin Mysteries. Because some betrayals, they don't just bait trust, they rewrite the whole story. I'm out.